Hello, snowing again. 1973 Honda CB350F. This was, I believe, the smallest four-cylinder production motorcycle made. Certainly the smallest one by Honda, and although they did have some racers that were slightly smaller with multi-cylinders. But this is, you call it the little brother of the CB400-4. So built in 73 and 74 and superseded by the CB400F. These are actually quite nice little motorcycle, nice looking, and they look very nice in the red. Obviously this has very faded red. So quite popular here in the United States. I've had a few of these, but I've never had a nice one. Mind you, I've never paid any real money for one either. And they do pop up. And then they got superseded, like I say, by the CB400F, which you don't see a lot of here in the United States. You saw more of them in the UK. I don't think these got imported to the UK at all. So, 400 pounds, 35 horsepower, awful, fucking awful front brake. So they have a little amount of go and they have very little stop. Like I said, a four-cylinder motor with 4 carbs. They had a nice, like 4-2 exhaust system, but if you ever do get with the upswept pipes, if you ever do get an original one, always check the exhaust systems just underneath the foot peg, because that's where condensation used to gather and they would rot. 17 or 18-inch front wheels, you know, just a kind of universal Japanese motorcycle, not a bad little thing. Here in the United States, I'd say that nice ones go for like $2 grand to 2,500. They're nice in red, they're not quite so nice in green. This particular example had been sitting for a few years. Just bought it off a guy last week or so, 12,000 miles. It's pretty much complete. However, and the seat isn't as nice as it looks in the photos, there is one problem, and basically I think the primary chain snapped. So that's all been removed, and I do have a brand new primary chain for it, and the sump has been taken off as well. Obviously the more observant of you will notice that the exhausts are fucked, but these were some aftermarket ones anyway. So, you know, it's got a key and it's got a title. I'm going to be asking 650 bucks for this, and I'll probably get somewhere near that, because there's not a lot of them around. They're good candidates for making into cafe racers and stuff like that. The motor doesn't turn, but it's not hard to get motor parts for this. In fact, a couple of times I've parted these out, I literally could not give the engines away. So they had this nice little kind of display up there on the console, and then the usual sort of standard Honda clocks. Red line's at 10,000 RPM, so it's fairly kind of screaming at that point. Not a lot to say really. Say quaint little motorcycles. If you get a nice one, nice running one, I say pay 2,500 bucks for it. You could scoot it around quite nicely. You'll probably manage to thrash it to 80 miles an hour. Some people say that the 400F, the CB400, was lost a bit of the character and was slightly heavier and slightly slower. I don't know about that. But like I said, what I do know is these are just a nice little kind of like small blast around bike. You wouldn't want to be travelling too far on it. Can't really say a lot else. That really, say pretty simple engines to work on, pretty simple to bikes to work on overall anyway. But like I said, you know, what's good about this example is it's complete. You know, all the chrome's nice, the wheels are nice. You'd be surprised how much it costs you to get a decent set of wheels worked on. If you've got good hubs, you need new rims or whatever, stuff like that. But it does need some work on the engine. But we'll see. I've just advertised it on good old Craigslist, and we'll see. Get me tackle out there and see what bites, as it were. So anyway, bye bye.